I got Jim writes in. He goes, "Hello, YMYW. I'll get right to the question to keep Joe's reading to a minimum."
Thanks,
Is that
Jim.
a little bit of a dig?
I think so. I'm telling you, I'm a terrible reader, and I don't know why I read these each and every week.
It's because it's entertaining.
It's awful. I just make an ass out of myself every week. And then Jim here is like, "Well, let me write in, but I'm going
to do 3-4 sentences. That's it.
Super brief."
Appreciate not telling
Jim.
you what I drink, what car I got, where I live.
Yeah, let's just get
Forget
right to it. My brother was unaware of the income limits of contributing to a Roth IRA. Oh, of course, it was your brother.
Always the brother.
It's always the brother. He is able to recharacterize his 2021 and 2022 contributions. However, he's been making these ineligible contributions for the past 10 years.
Ooh.
Wow. Jim, how do you know all this about your brother?
They're tight.
Super tight.
They're twins.
I'm aware of the 6% penalty per year, but am curious to the checks and balances of this heir since it has gone unnoticed for so long. I heard on other podcasts that I write into and saying that my brother has made it over. He did write that. I heard on other podcasts that in reality, he would most likely never have a problem leaving the Roth IRA contribution from the previous 10 years. Thanks for all the info you provide. All right, let's help out Jim's brother here. What would you do? What would you do, Alan?
Well,
if you were Jim,
AKA
Jim's brother.
Yeah, let me explain what this means. So there's certain income limitations on doing a Roth contribution. So for 2022, it's I think 144,000 single. When you get to that income level, you can't do a Roth conversion anymore. Then there's a contribution. Thank you. And there's a phase out before that for a married couple. I think it's 214. Yeah, 214, I think. Anyway, so let's say you make more than that and you do a Roth contribution. Then what the IRS says is that by October 15th, their filing date, you've got to take it out. You've got to recharacterize it. You have to take it out because you weren't allowed to. And if you don't do that, year after year, you have to pay a 6% excise tax. So if it's 10 years, it could be like 60% of the account. And it's worse because of compounding potentially, right? So that's the problem. If the IRS comes after you, they're going to say, this is disallowed. We're going to take all this out and you're going to owe us this penalty, which probably in 10 years is going to be at least 60% or about 60% of the value. So that's the risk. So the question is, should you do that? Should you go ahead and pay that? Which sounds painful, or should you just kind of hope it never comes up, which is what he's asking because he's heard that on other podcasts. I will answer it this way. You are correct. The IRS does not have a very good checks and balances on this. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. There's a risk that this whole thing could blow up in a few years when the IRS catches up with it.
I would say if Jim does the right thing and says, you know what, my brother
right
was unaware of the Roth contribution limits, right? Income limits, and, asks for forgiveness, I would imagine that some of this could come out without the 6% excise tax.
It's possible,
right? Is saying, you know what, I made a mistake. I'm coming clean. I'm going to just recharacterize all of these dollars out. I will pay tax on whatever earnings that the Roth IRA grew to. And then now the money sits outside, or you could recharacterize, those 10 years or 60,000 or whatever the I'm not sure how old Jim's brother is. So, you could recharacterize those back into the IRA, right? And then you'd pay tax on whatever the earnings are. So there's different options here.
Sure.
Or you can just let
it go and see what happens. Start doing it right on a go forward basis. I think that the best answer is to check with your tax professional, whether that's a CPA or whether that's a tax attorney. Get their thoughts. They're probably going to tell you to pay the excise tax because that's the right answer.
Are you prepared for retirement? Schedule a free financial assessment with an experienced financial professional right online at purefinancial.com.